There really is no doubt about it. High-tech is here in Central Florida. High-tech jobs have been growing here since the early days of the space race. But for more than a decade now, things have really taken off. And at the heart of that explosive growth has been the recipient of this year's Seminole County Regional Chamber of Commerce Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Randy Berridge, a career AT&T public relations executive whose second career has been as president of the Florida High-Tech Corridor Council, headquartered right here in Seminole County. I'm Roger Pynn of Curley and Pynn Public Relations, and when you've worked with someone as closely as I've worked with Randy Berridge for more than 2 decades, you learn an awful lot about them. And the one thing I've learned about Randy is that he's just a regular sort of guy. And as you'll hear, very regular.
Yes, Randy is a regular guy. He has regularly stolen my husband every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. for the past 20 years so that they can play tennis. But I have to give him some credit here. He brings him back in time for church. And there's one thing that most people don't know about Randy, and that is that he carries a fine tune in the church choir.
Not only is Randy my regular tennis partner every Sunday for the last 20-some-odd years, but he's my guy that I go to in the community. Whenever I need something, Randy's always there to help. He helps this community in more ways than people actually understand. And I want to take this time to say congratulations, Randy.
Randy is a very loyal friend. He is very focused on doing the right thing. And over the history of our relationship, I cannot think of any time when our subject really wasn't, what are we doing right to be making a remarkable difference for this region in the state of Florida. So regular from that, regular from family, and I think regular in friendship sums up Randy Berridge.
13 years ago, when Randy started the Florida High-Tech Corridor, he initiated what he really very cleverly branded as the regular Tuesday morning 7:45 conference call. Well, all these years later, that conference call is still happening with about 30 regulars participating on a regular basis. There's no doubt in my mind that Randy sits during that conference call sipping regular coffee. I mean, this is definitely not a latte kind of guy.
Randy Berridge is not only a good friend, he is definitely a regular guy. He and I meet for breakfast regularly every Wednesday with a group of friends, except when Randy's regularly scheduled vacations to North Carolina. At our breakfast, he regularly updates all of us with tidbits of for this table only news. When you consider Randy's unique combination of intelligence, integrity, charm, verbosity, his passion, his enthusiasm, his commitment, his verbosity, his good looks, his local, did I mention verbosity? Anyway, we consider him to be actually quite irregular, and we love him for it. Randy, there's some fellas here this morning who would like to say something to you. Congratulations, Randy. You're a regular guy.
When I think of Randy, I think of him as a regular guy. But I think of him much more than just a regular guy. His involvement in the community, my friendship with him, his networking skills, and his ability for fundraising. Most of you are well aware of the Challenger license tag. That tag has created enough money to build a national monument dedicated to all American astronauts and located at Kennedy Space Center. That memorial and its fundraising would not have happened without significant help from Randy. When we dedicated the memorial in 1991, it was one of my proudest moments, and I know it was one of Randy's.
On a regular and frequent basis, the members of the AT&T Management Council were quite accustomed to Randy calling up and wanting a small piece of their operating budget. We knew, of course, that he was going to use those for activities that were going to better position the company within the community. But we also knew that he was going to use those to make the community a better place for our employees to live and work. So on behalf of the 6,000 AT&T employees and their families, thank you, Randy.
At the end of the day, I'm grateful to Randy for putting me in the path of so many opportunities that enabled me to be helpful to the community. So Randy is not only my friend, he's also my hero.
Randy Berridge regularly calls me, usually inquiring or suggesting some great project idea that needed regional, if not super regional collaboration on. And he asked me for my involvement, for my support, and for my investment. And usually it led with Randy's indicating that he was in and that a couple of other people were in, and that if I would say yes, then it would be a great project.
Randy Berridge has been a significant influence in my life. In fact, this award corresponds with the 21st anniversary of my continuing internship with Randy Berridge. I learned during that time working for him at AT&T that Randy was, in fact, a very regular guy. And that continues on because regularly Randy will call me today looking for help on a project or some task that needs to get done to help pursue economic development in the region.
Randy's a regular sort of guy, but let me tell you, his Rolodex is not a regular sort of Rolodex. I think you know Randy knows every single person in the state of Florida, and most of them are in his Rolodex. But that comes in very handy. In our years together at AT&T and some of its subsidiaries, and then later working with John Hitt in the high-tech corridor, when I would go to Randy with a problem, he immediately whipped out his little black box, or else more recently his very high-speed, high-tech data acquisition system, and would start reeling off names of people who could help us. This was very valuable. In fact, anybody who went to Randy with a problem could immediately recognize that Randy would find the right people to help solve this problem, and Randy would get the job done.
I regularly call on Randy Berridge. I call on him for advice, I call on him to get things done, and I can always call him for a great game of golf. Those of you who played with Randy will understand that he's a guy who's neither missed nor made a 3-foot putt in the last 25 years. Seriously, although I often get a lot of the credit, there wouldn't be a Florida high-tech corridor without Randy Berridge. It was actually Randy who brought to my attention the opportunity for UCF to play a pivotal role in expanding the region's role in the semiconductor industry. That project showed we could do great things, and one of the best things we did was tap Randy to run the high-tech corridor. He's an economic development dynamo.
Yes, Randy really is a regular sort of guy. We all know him as a business guy, but if you really want to see his eyes light up, you need to ask him to tell you about his beautiful bride, Sharon, his 2 wonderful daughters, Mindy and Lynn, or especially his treasured grandchildren, Miss Emma and Mr. Thomas.
Randy is really a regular sort of guy. Take our Saturday routine. On Saturday morning, he may sleep a little bit later, 8:30, which is late for him. He's up, out the door to do yard work or play golf with John, and back home to clean up and shower, and might take a short nap, but then we're out the door to our regular favorite seafood restaurant. And if you want to find us on late Saturday afternoon or early Saturday evening, we'll be at Boston Seafood in Winter Park. Randy may be a regular sort of guy and busy, but he always has time for his family, no matter what comes up. He's a wonderful husband, great father, terrific grandfather, and we love him very much.
So there you have it. One heck of a regular guy, Randy Berridge, our Lifetime Achievement Award winner. A friend to so many, a great community leader. Randy, I have no doubt when they write the book on economic development in Florida, there'll be a chapter titled The Berridge Era. Congratulations, Randy.